So I was asked, hey, are you gonna film an unboxing of your camera? And my first thought was, no, absolutely not. And then I was like, actually, maybe you'd like to hear what I have to say about cameras. So here goes. I get to do a little camera unboxing today. This just came in the mail, and this just came in the mail. And those two things are going to replace this camera, which I have had for the last, gosh, I don't know, 10 years, 13 years. I've had it for forever, so I think it's time to move on to something different. This camera is a Canon. It's a Canon camera. Rebel T5i. And it's good. I like it. It takes pictures. It also takes video. It has a viewfinder. It's been all over the world. But I think I could do even better with this camera. So what I know about this camera is it's new, and it also takes pictures and video, and it's a mirrorless. So basically what a mirrorless does is it takes photos without making a clicky noise. So that can be fun sometimes, even though sometimes I like the noise. But all right, let's get it out of the box. And I'll tell you more about it. All right, we have a strap and a cord and probably a battery. One battery, maybe a second battery, or a plug that goes on the cord. And finally, ta-da! So here's this camera. It's a Sony fish symbol 7.4. It's mirrorless. It also has a viewfinder. You can see that right there. And it feels nice in my hand. It's a little bit cold. It's got metal on it. Battery goes in the bottom. And this lens goes on the camera. So I also got this lens with it, and we may as well open up this lens. This lens is also a Sony lens. I think you're supposed to put like the same stuff together. And it's a F35 f1.8. I have no idea what the Phi stands for. But it's a 35 millimeter, which I actually do know that will make it good for shooting indoors. So I do most of my video shooting in my bedroom, and having a 35 millimeter will make it easy for me to get everything in the shot without having to take my camera and like put it out in the hallway. It just gets really awkward. Okay, so here's the lens, here's the camera. We're gonna put the lens on the camera. Ooh. Ah. All right, there you go. Okay, in all seriousness, that is the almost the extent of what I know about cameras and lenses, but I did put a lot of time in talking with a photographer before picking this camera and buying this specific camera. So I was actually given a list of a few things to talk about that are real and not just whatever the fuck I just said for the past however many minutes it's been. So the first thing about the camera is it's a 7K, it shoots 7K video, but it downsizes it to 4K. My understanding of that is that it takes really great video and then compresses it so that when you're seeing it, it's super crystal clear and you can get all the details of everything you really want to see on it. Also, I would imagine that if you're shooting 7K and it's just 7K, it's gonna be like crazy big, which like sometimes you want crazy big. But when it comes to getting content off of your camera onto your computer, uploaded to your favorite website, it'll take forever if it's so big. So compressing it down to that 4K is really good. The other thing about this camera is that it's a full frame sensor, not an APS-C. So that makes it great for low light. So when you're taking photos and video and it's nighttime, you're in your bedroom and you don't have very many lights on because you were just about to go to bed, but then you decide you want to grab your camera and you want to film something, it'll do really well with that. That camera never did very well with that. It wanted perfect lighting all the time. This one's kind of a dumb one, and I don't know why this was put on my list to talk about, because just obviously, I already touched on this, but it does have a viewfinder that flips out. Which, thank you to my friend who made me this list. That much I know. I didn't need a talking point on that. But yeah, it's really nice to have that viewfinder that flips out, because a lot of times I'm filming like this, or like this, and then I can see what's actually going on and I'm not just shooting in the dark, as it were. This camera also has autofocus and tracking for video. So when my hands are full, or more likely for me, when my hands are just busy, it will have no problem tracking and focusing. This is very important, because when you're trying to get that perfect shot, or you have that perfect moment and you're not in focus, it ruins everything. As for the lens, it's attached to the camera. I already talked about it being 35 millimeter, so yes, it's great for shooting indoors. The lens that I have on this camera, it was a cheaper lens, and I believe this lens is a 50 millimeter lens, which is great for getting close-ups, and it made for some beautiful shots outside. But again, most of my stuff I shoot is inside, in my bedroom. Having a 50 millimeter was just like, everything's close-up. Close-ups are fun, but I want to be able to also get everything all at once. When I talked about the FE and the f1.8, somebody should tell me in the comments what FE stands for, because nobody's ever explained that one to me. But the f1.8, so that's the f-stop. I'm saying that off of memory, not off of my notes, just FYI. So please like this video for that. If anything, I'm very proud of myself, I remembered that. It'll make it good for shooting in low light situations. So it's important. I feel like I've talked about that like 5 times. There's a lot of situations that end up being low light, and I want to get a clear, crisp shot, and I want you to see it, and I want you to love it like I love it. Anyways, I think that's it. That's my new camera. I'm excited to use it. You'll have to come see the stuff that I shoot with it. Maybe I'll use it for YouTube. I'll definitely use it for other things. But I hope you enjoyed my unboxing. And let me know if you think we should do it again sometime. I have been making videos on the internet for years, and it's crazy how the second I start recording for YouTube, it's like I've never talked to a camera before, ever.